Hello, good day everyone. So our topic for today is all about the multiple intelligence. So multiple intelligence are the theory first posited by Harvard developmental psychologist, which is Howard Gardner in 1983. He suggests that human intelligence can be differentiated into 9 modalities. So first is the visual spatial or a verbal linguistic, musical rhythmic, logical mathematical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic, bodily-kinesthetic, and existential intelligence. So multiple intelligence, it refers to a theory describing the different ways students learn and acquire information. So these multiple intelligences range from the use of words, numbers, pictures, and music, and to the importance of social interactions, introspection, and physical movement, and being in tune with nature and life. Okay, so in 1983, an American developmental psychologist, Howard Gardner, described the 9 types of intelligence. First is the linguistic, or also known as the word smart. Okay, so next is logical mathematical, or also known as number or reasoning smart. Next is spatial, or also known as a picture smart. Musical, also known as sound smart. Bodily kinesthetic, also known as body smart. And interpersonal, also known as people smart. And intrapersonal, also known as self smart. Naturalist, also known and nature is existential intelligence, also known as life is smart. So it makes sense. Just as being a smart whiz gives you the ability to understand the world, so does being people smart give you the same ability. So just from a different perspective. Okay, so not knowing math, you may not calculate the rate of which the universe is expanding, but you are likely to have the skills to find the right person. So who is the proponent of multiple intelligences? So Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner is a Harvard University psychologist. He defines intelligence as the ability to solve problems or to create products that we are valued within one more cultural settings. So, and he thinks that every human being is able to develop his intelligence in a higher or lower degree. He proposes different types of intelligence, all equally important. First is the linguist intelligence. It is the ability to express yourself effectively through language, both spoken and written. Okay, so it says that linguistic intelligence is the ability to think in words and to use language to express and appreciate complex meanings. Okay, so linguistic intelligence allows us to understand the the order and the meaning of words and to apply meta-linguistic skills to reflect on our use of language. Okay, it is the most widely shared human competence. It is vividly seen in the poets, in the novelists, journalists, and effective public speakers. Okay, so young adults with this kind of intelligence enjoy writing, reading, telling stories, or doing crossword puzzles. Okay, yung mga chismosa is a linguistic intelligence. Mga sales agent, teachers, mga maiingay sa klase are those profiles under linguistic because their ability and their perceptions of words and language. Okay, so professional profiles. Sino ang mga professional profiles under linguistic intelligence? Okay, those are the writers, lawyers, politicians, religious leaders, and poets, and many more. Okay, so linguistic intelligence is essential for contract drafting, okay, negotiating, and communicating with different interest groups and explaining projects to superiors or the rest of the teams. Okay, so this type of intelligence is essential at job positions such as contract manager and property manager. Okay, answer these questions in yes or no only. Okay, so is it easy for you to remember phrases or quotes? Do you enjoy puns? Are you interested in debates? Is it easy for you to learn language? Do you like reading? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Okay? So next is logical mathematical intelligence. Okay? So it is the ability for logical reasoning and mathematical solvings. And the speed to solve this kind of problems is the indicator that defines the level of logical mathematical intelligence a person has. Okay, so logical mathematical intelligence is the ability to calculate, quantify, consider propositions and hypotheses, and carry out the complete mathematical operations. It enables us to perceive relationships and connections, to use abstract, symbolic thought, symbolic thought, and sequential reasoning skills, and inductive and deductive thinking patterns. Okay, so when we say inductive, it is from specific to general. When we say deductive, it is from general to specific. Okay, so logical intelligence is usually well developed in mathematicians, scientists, and detectives. Okay, young adults with lots of logical intelligence are interested in first, patterns, categories, and relationships. They are more likely to be critical thinker, observer, okay? So they are drawn to arithmetic. They are drawn to arithmetic problems, strategy games, and experiments. Okay? So the abilities and the main perceptions of this logical mathematical intelligence is numbers and logic. So the professional profiles under this is those scientists, economists, academics, engineers, and mathematicians. And mathematicians that stand out due to this kind of intelligence. Okay, so answer this yes or no only. Is it easy for you to make budgets? Do you like logical games like Sudokus? Do you not use your fingers when counting? When you face a new challenge or a problem, do you analyze all these consequences or visualize anything of your future? Is it easy for you to remember phone numbers? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this kind of intelligence. Okay? Okay, this type of intelligence has particular importance at job positions such as technical manager. Okay, so maintenance manager, ano pa? Risk manager, business continuity manager, ano pa? Procurement manager, and also with the safety manager. Okay, so next is spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence is the ability to think in three dimensions. Okay, so it is the ability to make mental 3D model, sabi niya dyan. It allows observing the world and the objects from different perspective and graphically represent ideas. Okay, so core capacities include the mental imagery, the spatial reasoning, image manipulation, graphic and artistic skills, and an active imagination. Okay, those are the sailors, pilots, sculptors, painters, ano pa, architects, all exhibit spatial intelligence. Okay, so young adults with this kind of intelligence may be fascinated with maze or jigsaw puzzles, or spend free time drawing or daydreaming. Okay, so moreover, the abilities and the main perceptions of this spatial intelligence is the images and the space. So the person who have this intelligence are more likely to be a designer, okay, photographer mostly. Okay, so professional profiles in this type of intelligence is those architects, yung mga sinabi ko kanina, sculptors, painters, photographers, designers, and also engineers. Okay, so engineers are both logical mathematical intelligence and also spatial intelligence. They manifest those two intelligence also. Okay, so answer this yes or no only. Is it easy for you to interpret graphics and flowcharts? Do you recognize places where you have been when you were little? Okay, when you focus, do you tend to scroll? Can you easily imagine how one object would be seen from a different perspective? When you close your eyes, can you see images clearly? Can you see, can you easily read a map? Do you easily get oriented when you go to a new place? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Okay, so the importance of spatial intelligence is space management for its graphical representation as well as its design and planning. Okay, it's also useful when using graphic information in reports to show the result clearly in order to help decision making. Okay, this type of intelligence is vital at object positions such as space manager, construction manager, and performance manager. Okay, so spatial intelligence, they are more likely organized in their plans, in their strategies, and even in their things around themselves. Okay, they are more organized. Okay, so next is musical intelligence. So as you can see in this musical intelligence, I put the picture of Lea Salonga. And Lea Salonga is one of the international singer, a Filipino international singer. Okay? Ang sabi dito, it's the ability to perceive, distinguish, transform, and express musical sounds, timbre, and pitch. It allows you to express yourself through musical forms. Okay, it includes abilities such as singing in any musical genre, playing an instrument with perfection, directing an orchestra, composing in any genre, and to some extent. Okay? So, musical intelligence, it is the capacity to discern pitch, rhythm, tone, and timbre. This intelligence, okay, enables us to recognize, create, reproduce, and reflect on music as demonstrated by composers, conductors, musicians, vocalists, and sensitive listeners. Interestingly, there is often an effective connection between music and emotions, and mathematical and musical intelligence measure common thinking processes. Okay, so young adults with this kind of intelligence are usually singing or drumming to themselves. They are usually quite aware of sounds others may miss. Okay, so most of the abilities and main perceptions of musical intelligence is music, sounds, and rhythm. Okay, so answer this yes or no only. Do you play a musical instrument? Do you like a wide variety of music styles? Are you able to identify sounds without reading them? Do you like having background music? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. So, furthermore, the professional profiles under musical intelligence are those musicians, composers, and musical critics. Okay. Next is bodily-kinesthetic. Here, it is the ability to control and coordinate body moves and express feelings with it. Okay, the main ability related to this intelligence are the body control over objects. Sabi niya doon. So, it is the capacity to manipulate objects and use a variety of physical skills. Okay, so this intelligence also involves a sense of timing and perfection of skills through mind-body union. Okay, so athletes, dancers, surgeons, crafts, people exhibit well-developed bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Okay? Na example ng mga bodily kinesthetic is yung mga magagaling sumayaw, yung mga estudyante na hindi mapakalisa at palipat-lipat sa upuan. Kung kilala nyo si Teacher Jercel in G-Force and other dancers in ASAP, and even here in school who manifested a talent in dance are most likely a bodily kinesthetic intelligent person. Okay? So most of the abilities and the main perceptions of Bodily-Kinesthetic intelligence are to control of body moves. Okay, so professional profiles under this intelligence is the athlete, the artisans, yung mga sinabi ko kanina, surgeons, dancers. Okay, so bodily kinesthetic is also taught to a modern police, forces, and special forces recruits globally. Okay, so answer this. Yes or no only. Do you dance or play sport? Are you good at darts or frisbee? Do you practice extreme sports when you experience an adrenaline rush? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Okay, so musical intelligence and bodily kinesthetic intelligence have a less obvious application to the daily activities a facility management carries out. Okay, so in short, musical intelligence and bodily kinesthetic is they are just to entertain. Okay, it is abilities to shape a type of professional that can share interesting information with the people he deals with. Okay? So next is interpersonal intelligence. Okay, pag sinabi nating interpersonal intelligence are more sociable person. Okay? So sabi dito, ang interpersonal or social intelligence is the ability to understand other people, and interpersonal intelligence is very important in everyday life. Okay, so it determines the choice of a partner, friends, and to a high extent success at work or studies. Okay, so interpersonal intelligence, it is the ability to understand and interact effectively with others. It involves effective verbal and non-verbal communication, the ability to note distinctions among others, okay, sensitivity to the moods and temperaments of others, and the ability to entertain multiple perspective. Okay, so teachers, example of this is teachers, social workers, actors, politicians, all exhibit interpersonal intelligence. Okay, so young adults with this kind of intelligence are leaders among their peers, are good at communicating, and seem to understand others' feelings and motives. Okay, so interpersonal intelligence are yung mga tao is marunong sila makipag-communicate effectively. Okay, they are more likely to nakiki-jive sila sa lahat ng gusto ng mga tao, sociable. Okay, so the main abilities and main perceptions of these interpersonal intelligence is emotion, people's emotions. Okay, you know the emotions of the people. You always put yourself on the feet of the others. Okay, so, alam mo kung anong nangyayari sa mundo. You are really want to go in the gatherings. Okay, nakikipag-communicate ka sa mga ibang tao, nakikipag-usap ka sa mga strangers. You want to go out. Professional profiles under this interpersonal intelligence are this type of intelligence is usually found in good sales agents, okay, politicians, teachers, or therapists. Okay? So, are you social person and like being surrounded by people? Do you care about what people around you feel? Do you easily notice when someone likes or dislikes you? Is it easy for you to speak with people you don't know? Is it easy for you to solve arguments and conflicts between other people? If you have answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Okay? So next is intrapersonal. It is the opposite of interpersonal. Pag sinabi natin kasi kapag interpersonal, you wanted to go along with other people. Pero kapag intrapersonal is you want to be alone. Gusto mo mapag-isa. Okay? You are very introvert. Okay? Intrapersonal or emotional intelligence is related to emotions and allows understanding oneself. Okay, the access to the own emotional life and the town feelings range. Okay, So intrapersonal intelligence, it is the capacity to understand oneself and one's thought and the one's feelings, and to use such knowledge in planning and directioning one's life. Okay? It is evident in psychologists, spiritual leaders, philosophers. Okay, these young adults may be shy. They are very aware of their own feelings and are self-motivated. Okay? Um, just like for example, when you are going to take your examinations, okay? Persons or students, yung mga estudyante na nakakapag-review sila, nakakapagbasa sila, nakakapag-recall sila kapag nag-iisa sila na walang maingay sa paligid nila. They want to introvert themselves in other people. Okay? Meron din kasi yung mga estudyante na nakakapag-review sila with their friends. Okay? They are more likely to be interpersonal. Okay, so abilities and main perceptions under this intelligence is self-consciousness. Okay, so professional profiles under this intrapersonal intelligence um, is related to psychological sciences, to philosophers, and the mature individuals who have reached a deep self-knowledge. Okay, so do you like to meditate? Do you find personality tests interesting? Do you enjoy individual sports more than that collective sports? Or do you set goals for the future? Do you enjoy spending time alone? Okay, so if you answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Okay, is being naturalistic intelligent. According to this, it is the ability to distinguish, classify, and use environmental elements, objects, animals, or plants from the urban environment as well as the sub or rural environment. Okay? In naturalist intelligence, it designates the human ability to discriminate among living things, okay, as well as the sensitivity to other features of the natural world. Okay, yung mga plantito, mga plantita, they are more likely to be naturalists. Okay, it continues to be a central in such roles as a botanist or a chef. Okay, it also speculated that much of our consumer society exploits the naturalist intelligence, which can be mobilized in the discrimination among cars and sneakers, kinds of makeups, and the like. Okay, they are more inorganic na. Okay, not on to the naturalist intelligence. They are more organic on themselves. Okay, so the abilities and the main perceptions, okay, under this naturalist intelligence is environment, more on environment. Okay, so professional profiles under this is those biologists, yung botanists sa sinabi ko kanina, zoologists, ecologists, and other country people are ones with a higher naturalistic intelligence. Okay, yung mga plantito, plantita ninyo, kung mahilig kayo mag-plants, kung nakakapag-meditate kayo sa gitna ng kabundukan. Okay? Do you like nature and the countryside? Do you like going to the zoo? Can you distinguish among different kinds of trees by looking at their leaves? Or do you enjoy taking care of your garden? Okay? Are you interested in learning about nature and often watch documentaries? If you answered yes to these questions, you have this type of intelligence. Next is existential. Okay, so sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions about human existence, such as the meaning of life, why we die, and how did we get here. Okay, so philosophers are the best example for this because they wanted to answer those ontological questions. Okay, they wanted to answer those non-existing questions around the world. Okay, paano ba nagsimula ang buhay? After life, anong mangyayari sa atin? are more likely existential. Okay, philosophers are the best example for this. Okay, so in the past, just verbal linguistic intelligence and logical mathematical intelligence were used as a basis of IQ tests. Each type of intelligence defines in which social, cultural, and labor um, area can we can manage more effectively. Okay, so the types of intelligence a person has indicates not only his abilities but also the way or method he prefers to learn and develop his strengths, as well as develop the types of intelligence he lacks of. Okay, for example, a person that has a high musical intelligence and low mathematical intelligence will more easily develop numeric and logical abilities through music than if he is bombarded with just numbers. Okay? Just like for an example, kapag sabi nila kapag matalino ka daw ng English, bobo ka sa math. Pag magaling ka daw sa math, bobo ka sa English. Vice versa, mga ganun lang. Okay, so a person with a low spatial intelligence and high mathematical intelligence will more easily develop his spatial abilities if he can do it through numbers and logic. Okay, so we are now living in this diverse world. Okay, 21st century na. We all have different types of intelligence, but not to the extent that some type always stands up over the others. Okay? Sabi nga, sinuggest ni Gardner that most people are strong in three categories. And as we have seen, all types of intelligence have influence in a facility manager's activities. And to greater or lesser extent depending on the position and responsibilities he has within the organization. Okay, so next is, let's go to the cycle of self-regulated learning. Okay, so self-regulated learning is a cycle process, okay, wherein the students plans for a task, monitors their performance, and then reflects on the outcome. And paulit-ulit lang. Okay, the cycle then repeats as the students uses the reflection to adjust and prepare for the next task. Okay, so first is plan, set goals, and lay out